community and well across the entire nation. Joining me today, I have Stephen David Elliott. Stephen David, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me today.
And I have his associate, Scott Reuter, and both of our RockStar Connect. And for those of you who aren't familiar, for the two of y'all out there who aren't familiar with RockStar Connect, they are a homegrown networking. And well, Stephen David, why don't you tell us about it? You're probably better suited.
Well, I mean, RockStar Connect, it was started here, right here in Raleigh, North Carolina, with my first networking event that I hosted here as a real estate agent, the North Hills Networking Group, which is one of the more well-attended RockStar Connect events in the Raleigh area. And since we started in 2011 and later became a national company in 2017, late 2016, we have grown to be the largest evening networking event company in the United States, with having hosted thousands of events with hundreds of thousands of attendees. And that's all due to our fantastic rock stars that are the hosts of our events all over the country. And, I was the original client of the company and creator of the company with my wife, Sarah, who can't be with us today. And Scott, who once, it's sort of like the hair club for men. Not only am I a client, he's a client of RockStar Connect and has since become the National Director of Business Development.
So he's all in on the Kool-Aid and everything.
He drank the Kool-Aid. He's hosted up to 3 events himself. And we have people in the country, that have 5 events and more events. Because RockStar Connect, what we're doing is a mission statement, is we are building local communities, supporting local businesses, creating an environment where entrepreneurs and business people and salespeople can get together and work collaboratively. So they're larger than the one individual. They're part of a tribe. But simultaneously, we're creating leaders in that community and facilitating their ability to grow that tribe and service that tribe. And that would be, of course, our RockStar Connect hosts.
Well, I attended several of these over the years, and at first I didn't really make the RockStar Connect connection. I just got invited by somebody that I knew, like, and trust, and then found myself in a room full of like individuals. It was a very pleasant experience. And what I noticed right out at the forefront, Stephen David, is that the local business, it was my local brethren and sisters and the people that I already knew and trust. Was it designed to be hyper local, or is that just an offshoot of it?
No, it's designed to be hyper local. I mean, we dig pretty deep. Not only do we, geographically identify cities, then we go into different neighborhoods and cities. But all of the hosts in any given area work collaboratively with one another to support each other's events. So essentially, our clients, they're already rock stars. We cannot create rock stars. They've already done the hard work. They have licenses. Scott's licensed in insurance. He's worked in banking. Our clients are RockStar realtors and financial service people, business coaches and speakers all over the country. They're bringing the goods with them. The people that attend the events, the attendees, they are the raving fans of the RockStar. They are members of the tribe. They support the RockStar. They're the brand evangelists. They go out in the community. I mean, think of them sort of like Deadheads, but without the dreadlocks and marijuana. Or maybe there is in some markets. We do have events up in Woodstock, New York, so possibly. And RockStar Connect, we are the roadies, sort of the unglamorous position. We're booking the events. We're finding the venues. We're naming the events, doing all the social media, database management for the hosts so that they're able to follow up with their tribe, email campaigns, scheduling, speaking with the attendees, providing all the branded materials for the event. So it's pretty extensive. We bring our hosts basically, I would say, to the 95-yard line. We hand them the football, And they're the ones that can actually get it into the end zone. We can't get it into the end zone without them, and we hope that we can get them to the 5-yard line without them being battered.
Right.
So it's much easier for them to do so. Would you
Well,
like to jump in on that, Scott, and give your impression as a host and a client?
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much there's not much else to say, but I mean, the great thing about the Rockstar Connect program is, it's a giver's game mentality. Stephen David Elliott and team have built out this curriculum to teach all the Rockstar hosts how to very intentionally network to provide the most, unbelievable experience to the attendees, the people that do come to the events, because our value to the people that come is to walk away with great connections.
right.
And I think our hosts, do it better than anybody else out there in the country. So wouldn't you agree, Stephen?
I would agree, and I'll take it even further. So people say something that people frequently will ask when we are interviewed. They'll want to role play with us. Well, what's it like when you come to the event? What do you say to the people that come to the event? And I think almost universally, most of our hosts follow what I say, which is I ask people that I speak with, what are the goals that you're trying to achieve, and how can I help you achieve them? There's no selling going on. There's
Right.
investment of the host time into things outside of their business. That being said, when you do good things for other people, there's immediate return of investment that you are privileged enough to do good things.
Right.
And in addition to that, people will reward you by speaking highly of you and helping you build your brand, which will ultimately, lead to business. And in this time, our hosts are especially seeing the value that they had an event.
Right. Doing good is good in its own sake, but there are the rewards. You get what you put out. Reap and ye shall sow.
Yes, and our hosts they're putting that extra effort. They're spending money out of pocket for Rockstar Connect services. Obviously it's a lot cheaper to do an event with us because we have all the the infrastructure, so it is heavily subsidized. But they're also investing their time into their community. They're spending the time at the monthly event, but they're doing one-on-ones, they're doing follow-ups, they're connecting people, they're starting alliances. And Scott and I, we've started several businesses together at this point,
Right.
Because of our relationship with Rockstar Connect. And that goes across the board throughout the country. To have a great hyper-local event that's going to then catapult you up onto a national stage
Right.
is an incredible benefit. And people don't seem to understand that it is important to focus local if you do want to succeed nationally. So we will have people that, that are hosts that they act on a national stage, but they will say to us, we failed to develop something local. We're known when we go out of town, but nobody in our backyard knows us. So we will help that. We help them build that local backyard feeling.
Well, let me give you, Stephen David Elliott, and Scott a pat on the back. When I attend your events, and I'm not a hyper local guy, I almost shun statewide attention. My footprint's Greensboro to the coast, but mostly in Raleigh. Is I saw my local peers and several rock stars, not only the hosts, but some of their peers, where Mick Jagger shows up, who knows who's going to show up? That's part of it. I saw several nonprofit directors in there walking around, communicating, and I saw several local artists. So what you do promotes the entire local spectrum, and just wanted to say thank you on that note.
Well, we appreciate that. It's about meaningful connections. It's really not about business. If you don't have a meaningful connection and you don't know who you're doing business with, you may not even want to do business with them. So we don't promise our host business. We don't promise the people that attend. We say, go there and make an effort to connect to your community. And Scott can expound on that. He and we're doing a lot of asks now in our business.
Mm-hmm.
But guess what? We're sort of entitled to do it now.
That's right.
And it's not really overt asks because we've earned it. And so have our hosts and our attendees.
Well, that's a whole nother topic, the ask and the earning it. But Scott, did you want to add something to that before I interrupted you? My apologies.
No, you're good. You didn't interrupt at all. But I mean, yeah, no, it's just through the Rockstar Connect program, like Steven said, we teach efficiencies. So again, you do have several people that want a one-on-one with you, being the event host, but we teach you that as part of being the event host as well. How to be very efficient, how to time block, how to do all your one-on-ones in the most efficient way possible.
Right. Well, let me take a tangent direction. Speaking of hometown team made good on the national stage, started here in Raleigh, but you have a national and an international reach. Would you speak more to that, please?
Well, I mean, we've had events, everywhere from in Canada and the West Coast here in the United States, and all over the United States, small towns, big markets, and Rockstar Connect is effective in all those places because our model is extremely simple. I believe in simplicity. I don't like to complicate things. In fact, if you try to complicate something with me, I shut down. Right, Scott?
No, can't handle.
Yeah, it's unnecessary to me because it's about being natural and yourself and doing things in a way that people can enjoy it. So our first year, we traveled to every event that we had in the country, and that was hundreds of events, and we observed them, and so that it could be scalable. We wanted to make sure our hosts would be able to have an event because without us, because we knew we wouldn't be able to go to every event in the future. Right. So that was a huge financial investment and time investment. I was in an event in South Florida, and there was a gentleman there, and I was overhearing him talking to someone else. And he said, "This is the best networking event I've ever been to." And I go to so many networking events, and he was extremely enthusiastic. You could see he was having a great time. And rather than just be a fly on the wall and observe, I pulled him aside and asked him, I said, "Why do you like these events versus other events? Help me distinguish it." First of all, I don't go to a lot of other people's events. So this is sort of like, what I consider the perfect event. And he said, "Well, I like Rockstar Connect events, and I go to several of them because, first of all, they're free to attend. A lot of events you have to pay to go to, and they can be a big disappointment. It changes the dynamic of the event, the quality of the host, because the host is there to make money selling tickets, not necessarily to make connections."
Right.
Also, nobody is selling me anything, he said. People are talking about, other things that are going on in their life, not necessarily about their business. I mean, people at a Rockstar Connect event, we just write their first name on the tag. We don't put their business or even their last name.
It's much more
we don't color code people,
right?
Like they do at other events. And he said, also, there's no boring speakers.
Right. That's the worst part. I'm going to go eat while they speak.
Right, because networkers will tolerate a speaking event, and they'll be very polite and they'll applaud, but they really want to jump into the mix of it and interact with different people. And the experience for our host is, and we talk about being an effective networker. If our hosts were to go to another event, not their own event, it's going to be like they're going to the prom without a date. They're not going to know who to dance with. Yeah. They're going to meet 5 people there that may be the same 5 people they met the day before, hang out with one another.
That happened to me a lot.
Yeah, so spend some money on drinks and then go, what did I do? And then rinse and repeat. When you're the host of an event, it's a completely different dynamic. And this is where, my laziness comes into play. If you're a host of an event, it's like you're the homecoming king, or you're the prom queen or big man on campus. With the social media that Rockstar Connect creates around the events, people know you're hosting the event. They're researching you beforehand. They're connecting with you on LinkedIn, and they know that you're the person that they want to meet at the event or even outside of the event in a virtual way or in a face-to-face on a one-on-one. They're looking you up. So we have created our events something that I call the money seat. Which is our registration area at the events, which is essentially a high top table, red tablecloth provided by Rockstar Connect, a little bowl to connect business cards, all the pens and name tags and special branding that the hosts need for themselves and their VIP. And we're taking an 8-foot banner and we're sticking it in the middle of the venue where everyone can see your brand. And they're coming up to you, whether they meant to come to the event or not. They're coming up to the host and saying, "Why are you doing this? This is awesome. Can I take your business card and can I connect with you too?"
Certainly.
So it's the simplicity of the event. I mean, all your supplies fit into 2 small bags that altogether maybe weigh 20 pounds. At the end of your event, you close everything up, throw it in the back of your car for your next event, mail all your business cards over to RockStar Connect, where we scan them and we correct all the errors on them, put them into an Excel file, send it to you so you can put it in your CRM immediately, combined with all the data we got online. But in addition to that, we know that you're so busy, you're probably not even going to get to your CRM anytime soon. So we're running email campaigns about your event, immediately restarting the process.
I smile because you nailed it. I got a lot of Excel spreadsheets. Steve and David, top line, y'all do great work. I do want to shift the topic a little bit because we are asking our fellow local entrepreneurs, how are you adapting your model to the COVID-19 quarantine?
I think I'm going to leave that to Scott to discuss, because he sees it from the inside and from the outside. He deals with a lot of our hosts, whereas I'm in the bunker creating the new programs. But with my wife, Sarah.
Yeah, definitely.
Go ahead, Scott.
Certainly. So first of all, I mean, again, if somebody's not testimony, I mean, definitely testimony to what you just shared, Stephen. I mean, obviously, I left banking because I was in a non-commission based role to get into insurance business where it's unlimited income earning potential thanks to the RockStar Connect program. So the RockStar Connect program definitely works, ladies and gentlemen. But Stephen is always just so innovative. So we've pivoted to the virtual networking. So we now have what's called the 3 Martini virtual national networking event that is being hosted every Tuesday, 2 to 4. And so we are now selling panelist spots for that. So if you go to rockstarconnect.com, you can learn a lot more about that. And I know there's some information I'm missing on that, Steve. And I know we've also partnered with Hio Social on that. So what are some of the things that we could expand upon on that?
Sure, I can expand upon it. So we have the 3 Martini lunch that we do every Tuesday, 2 to 4. And in the evenings, all our hosts are holding their events virtually Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday night around the country. And anyone can drop in on those. Those are very intimate. The advantage of the 3 Martini lunch is we have several hundred people that attend that event. And right now, if you are doing any virtual networking, you will find that there is a paucity of attendees. So, albeit you are getting the opportunity to speak to people, business is a numbers game. You need to get your message out to a substantial amount of people. Right. We are looking and we are interviewing panelists for our 3 Martini lunch. It's very inexpensive to be a panelist. You do have to be a rock star, though. You have to bring some quality and be able to handle me moderating an event for 2 hours. And I'm going to pick on you a little bit, and I'm going to challenge you to make sure that you participate. That event is really cool because it is combined with a virtual lounge. And in the virtual lounge, if people get bored of talking heads like us, have their questions answered, they can jump into the lounge where they can select anyone they want to connect with, share whatever information they want, including all your social media, but also resumes and websites and Dropbox.
Intro videos.
Unlimited amount of data you can share with other people, connect with them, and then you're going to go through something that's similar to speed networking or speed dating. You'll talk individually with the people you want to speak with for 7 minutes, and if it feels like it's going to be a meaningful connection, you share your information, and then you get together online in another way to conclude business. But for our hosts and our panelists, we are broadcasting that event not only to the hundreds of people that are in the event, but also on all of our Facebook pages, which are several hundred Facebook pages. We're broadcasting it live, so thousands of people are seeing it there. We're doing tens of thousands of social media posts with our panelists' names on it. And they are going on this show and they are putting together one-on-ones where they are creating actual business and revenue. It's really heartwarming that people are having that success and that we're able to keep the country networking, not only, just for the sake of doing it, but in an effective way
Right.
that somewhat mirrors, or if not mirrors, exceeds what we were doing before face to face. Now, we can't wait until we're able to start networking face to face. Our hosts ask us every day, if they can have underground networking events in their basement. We're like, no, we're social distancing. We cannot support that.
But you don't need it. Right now, it's working very well.
For our hosts and our clients, if someone's a panelist and they say, hey, we really, would like to have the ability to have our own event and not be on a panel, can you do a breakout room for us and promote it? We're going to do it. No one knows how to promote events like RockStar Connect. We know how to put butts in seats. I was going to use a little stronger language, but I don't know who's listening to this. But we're going to put you in front of people where you're going to be successful and have those meaningful connections. It's amazing the opportunities that are available now. I'm connecting out to a lot of people in my national network, and there are opportunities out there if you are networking that can make you a substantial amount of revenue over the next few months that you may not be getting from your traditional business.
And that'll only help when we go back. What you do now only keeps you alive and strengthens that next wave when we are free to go out and mingle again.
Right. We were planning on doing digital. Of course, we weren't in a rush because we were doing our live events. And sometimes, life just slaps you on the butt. I was going to say something else and makes you move forward, a little more quickly.
Yeah.
RockStar Connect, and Scott will speak to this, and he's the same way. We're perfectionists. We want to bring out a perfect product, but we recognized that our audience needed us right away. So we made a very quick pivot. So if we want to get to the business end of this on how you can pivot your business, I think we were doing virtual events within a day of the shutdown. We've had at this point over 100 events nationally with RockStar Connect. That comes with some costs associated with it. My team is fantastic at what they do. They're doing hundreds of events, thousands of events per year with very little difficulty. It's on autopilot. We do innovations. We do a tweak here, a tweak there. And we launched this 3 martini lunch, and we had 2 great events. I'm like, let's have another event this week. Let's jump right into it and do another week. And what I found at that point was I almost broke my team. It was unrealistic to do so because they were doing a great job and they were delivering, but we didn't take time to stop to put the processes in place. So Scott and I, we had a meeting with Sarah, who's my wife and director of operations, makes all this work. We sat down and we interviewed every employee in RockStar Connect and many of our hosts and said, what did you think your role was before? What is your role now? And what help do you need to achieve those goals? And we got them all back on track. It took a day or two, but we're back on track. Our processes are in place, and our company is much stronger for it. So I guess what I'm trying to say to the people that are listening to this is you need to do that with your business. Don't aim for perfection. Get out what you need to get out to the public. You may not even know how you're going to monetize or what you're going to charge, but start. But keep in mind, you do work with other people and be sensitive of what their needs are and listen to them at this point, because frankly, they know more about how your company runs than you do.
They've seen it from the 10,000 foot view. Well, let me add one more testimonial, guys. I love what you're doing as a lifelong promoter. Well, since my adulthood, I've promoted the power of local. I have not left a 3-mile radius of the NC State Bell Tower. This is my backyard. And Stephen David Elliott and J. Scott Reuter, what y'all guys do is not only provide that networking opportunity, but here's how to do it, here's the right way to do it, and here's the encouragement. If you show up with the right attitude, you guys are going to nurture it until it works. And I've seen you do it. And as a proponent of local, I just wanted to thank you guys for what you've done for so many of my friends and so much that you've done right here in my backyard.
Well, thank you, Robert. That's very high praise, and I appreciate you giving us the opportunity to speak to your audience. And anybody can reach out to us. Our information is on our website, rockstarconnect.com, our business page. We just started a group under Scott's leadership called the Three Martini Lunch Group, so people can know about our national event. But don't hesitate to not only reach out for us for Rockstar Connect, but we are local business people as well. Scott is owner of Goosehead Insurance, and I will help anyone with their real estate needs as well.
Well, thank you, guys. Raleigh, Stephen David Elliott, and J. Scott Reuter of Rockstar Connect. All that and more is right here in your backyard. I invite you to discover the power of local. Thanks, guys. Let's wave it out.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Appreciate it.
Honor's mine.